Now, a few people are hurt after a house goes up in flames in Rogers.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News First at 4.
We're going to start with your forecast. Thanks for joining us for your 5 News First at 4. I'm Darren Bobb.
And I'm Alexandra Burnley. Let's start things off with Chief Meteorologist Scott Covert. Scott, we had a pretty sloppy morning.
Ooh, sloppy's the exact word that I would use to describe this morning. Things have cleared up out there. We're starting to dry out, but hey, here's the thing. You might still notice a few snow flurries out there. If that happens, know this, it's not likely to amount to anything that needs to be worried about, but a few flurries on the backside of the system. A little bit of drizzle, a little bit of fog, primarily right now in northwest Arkansas. You might need the windshield wipers at times just on account of that. That should be improving over the next several hours. The big story is it's going to be those temperatures. We see it happening already. We're down to 29. Bentonville sitting at freezing in Fayetteville, 40 our number in Fort Smith. But overnight tonight, we expect those temperatures and especially the wind chill values dipping down into the single digits. We do have a cold weather alert in effect for Benton County, where it's expected to get the coldest, pretty close to zero when it comes to wind chill values come tomorrow morning. In the River Valley, not going to be that cold, but boy, it is going to be bitter out there. Teens, low teens, in fact, very possible when you're waking up early tomorrow morning. We're definitely going to want to bundle those kids up when they head off to the bus stop tomorrow morning. Do have another round of rain in the forecast for this weekend. That's going to be followed by another big blast of cold air, and this active weather pattern, it's just getting started. We're looking ahead to more systems next week, one of which could bring another round of snow to the area. The timing of that in just a few.
All right, Scott, thanks. And just into the newsroom within the last 30 minutes or so, we are learning that police have arrested the 2 men who escaped from that correction center in LaFleur County over the weekend. According to the sheriff's office, Justin Turner and David James were arrested in Polk County, Arkansas, near Mena today. The 2 walked away from the Hamilton Correctional Center in Hodgen over the weekend. So far, it's not clear if they will be facing any additional charges. New at 4, a third person has now been arrested after the human trafficking raids at Rogers massage parlors. Rogers police say David Whited is the latest arrest in relation to those raids that were part of Attorney General Tim Griffin's Operation Obscured Vision. Those raids happened on January 23rd at the Ping Massage, Stream Massage, and Tulip Massage in Rogers. Whited was arrested by the Marshals Service for trafficking and engaging in a continuing criminal gang or organization. Yuan Yang and Chun-Li Wang were also facing charges after those raids.
Right now in Rogers, 2 young people are in critical condition after a house fire this morning. It happened at a duplex on South 14th Place. Rogers police say there were 4 people in the house at the time of the fire, including a 6-year-old woman and her 3 grandchildren. All of them were taken to the hospital for treatment. 2 officers who also responded to the scene were taken to the hospital out of precaution. Right now, it's not clear what sparked the fire, but the fire department does not believe foul play is involved.
New at 4, a former Arkansas Arts Academy teacher in Rogers now facing new charges. 38-year-old Robert Beard has been booked again, accused of 25 counts of sexually grooming a child. He was first arrested last month by Springdale police after allegedly sexually assaulting a child. In that case, Springdale police say Beard had picked up a child from a dance at a school. After that arrest, several students, all taught by Beard during his 2 years at the academy, were interviewed. Police say at least 25 students were identified as alleged victims of grooming at the hands of Beard.
Police in Van Buren are searching for this missing 13-year-old girl. Savannah Perrin was last seen at her home yesterday. She's 5'4" and has straight red hair and blue eyes. Arkansas State Police believe she might be headed to Missouri on I-49 with someone named David. Anyone with information is asked to contact Van Buren Police. This comes as we learn that This comes as we learn that more than 40 human trafficking victims, all in the Fort Smith area, have been rescued through a targeted Arkansas State Police operation. In Operation Voice, police enlisted the help of an undisclosed hotel to find and meet victims and arrest any suspects. They are able to apprehend one person who they say was dropping off a victim. With the help of organizations from across the state, law enforcement was able to provide resources to 12 adult victims, and they identified 32 others. Penny Burns is the CEO of Fort Smith Crisis Intervention Center, which helped provide resources to victims.
There's a reason behind why someone acts the way they act, no matter how old they are or what they're going through. There's a pattern that has led up to that type of behavior, to where they feel that to survive they have to perform these types of works, and we can help break that cycle if they just reach out to us.
Arkansas State Police urges anyone aware of human trafficking activity to report it so that they can investigate. President Trump has talked with the presidents of Ukraine and Russia as he pushes to end the 3-year-old war. As Erica Brown reports, it was the first confirmed conversation between Vladimir Putin and Trump since his return to office.
President Trump says he held a lengthy conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump posted on social media, "We both agreed we want to stop the millions of deaths taking place in the war with Russia and Ukraine."
They were very good calls, they were very positive, and the administration is wholeheartedly committed to a peace deal to end once and for all the Russia-Ukraine war.
The president also spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky about the war, saying Ukraine is charting a path to promote peace in the area. During a meeting of NATO allies helping to defend Ukraine, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth suggested Ukraine may have to cede some of its land to Russia to end the war.
Returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective.
President Trump has ordered negotiations to end the war begin immediately, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff taking the lead. Witkoff also just worked to secure the release of Mark Fogel, an American teacher who was held in a Russian prison for the last 3.5 years. Witkoff sent his personal plane to Russia to bring Fogel home.
President Putin had to pardon him and had to approve it. So that evidently happened. And I would say that without President Trump's election, none of this would have happened.
Trump says he has always had a good relationship with Putin and praised the Russian leader as he celebrated Fogel's return.
We appreciate President Putin's what he did. He was able to pull it off for you, right?
The Kremlin reported Trump and Putin spoke for nearly 90 minutes Wednesday. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
The Kremlin also reported that Putin invited President Trump to Moscow for a face-to-face meeting.
Pennsylvania school teacher Mark Fogel, now a free man after arriving back to the U.S. from Russia late last night, has been wrongfully detained since 2021, but was released as part of a deal negotiated by the Trump administration. Pennsylvania teacher was arrested at the airport in Moscow in 2021 for having marijuana. His family said it was for medical reasons. President Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff helped negotiate the deal, says Saudi Arabia's crown prince was instrumental. The president didn't say what the deal with Russia entailed, but he called it good faith. The Kremlin said a Russian citizen behind bars in the U.S. has been freed as part of this swap. Fogel's 95-year-old mother says this day has been a long time coming.
I just want to see him. I just want to touch him. He will be a basket case. He will just cry and cry and cry.
President Trump says he believes Fogel's release could help play a role in advancing cooperation with Russia to end the war in Ukraine. The president also hinted at the release of another American detainee, but did not say who.